Right then, this is a quick walk around video, and for a very clean car, given its age. This is for a Toyota RAV4. It's a 2-litre XT4 model. Covered just at 61,000 miles from new. It's very low mileage. On 56 plate, as you can see. Finished in silver, black leather interior, and in really good condition. Front of the car, lights and lenses are really clear, intact. There's no cracks or condensation that I can see. Bonnet of the car, very clean, hardly any noticeable stone chip on there at all. Coming down the near side of the car, passenger side, again, all very clean and tidy. Alloys are really good. Paintwork's generally good. The odd tiny little brush mark, but I'm talking minuscule stuff. I did see one little tiny pin dent just there. It is the size of my finger, little fingernail, so it is small indeed. And then come around the back of the car. So I don't normally do my videos here. It's all to do with getting the shade this time of day because it's a lovely sunny day, but that's not very good for videos because you can't see the marks when you've got the sun shining on it. Around the back of the car, again, all very good. Hard wheel cover, a couple of tiny little stone chips could easily be touched in on the cover there, but I'm being very sort of picky on it. Offside, driver's side, again, lovely and smooth in the panel work. But you know, when you take into account we're looking at a car that's now 16 years old, it is very clean indeed. It's very original, which is what I like about it. You know, it's the odd, very light mark, but nothing of any consequence at all. Coming to the back of the car now, big boots on the car, and unlike so many of the vintage which have been very heavily used, this is the opposite. It's been given a very gentle life indeed. Let's come to the back of the car. Loads of legroom in the car, full black leather interior, which, given the age and mileage and the use they generally have, is in incredibly clean condition. It's coming on the passenger side on the front. Again, continues the theme. Leatherwork is in absolutely superb condition. Coming to the front now, again, all very clean. Full set of original RAV4 mats in there. Driver's seat, incredible for the age of mileage. So inside the car now, engine as always running through this section so the dashboard can be illuminated to be seen. Dashboard just looks in, again, amazing condition really. Come across the main dash binnacle and pan in there for you. 221 miles. I always forget. Usually the wrong way around actually, but not intentionally. Finally, just to show you, owner's manual, pack and lock and unlock key, all here and present with the car. Right then, this is a quick road test video, and this is for a Toyota RAV4, and it's a 2-litre XT4 model. The car is registered WP56JVA, and with a mileage of just 62,214 recorded. The reason for doing these videos, all of them in fact, is to basically make sure that if anyone's online looking at any of our cars, they actually get to see the car advertised in operation. The reason we feel it's important is very simple indeed. Like too many people who've been to go and see cars which have looked absolutely fine in photographs and the descriptions, but only to get there and find out when we've driven the car it's got an issue which shows up as soon as you pull away, or dashboard or anything like that. So hence that's why we do it. Also done on these very quiet country roads in this lovely part of Gloucestershire. This actually forms part of the road test route we take our customers on, and the theory behind it, or the thinking behind it, is that it should then be representative of what you feel yourself should you be offered a test drive in the car. So coming to the car, engine starts absolutely instantly, of course, and settles to a smooth, even idle. There are no warning lights on the dashboard at all relating to the engine or any other part of the car. Temperature gauge I'll do later in the video. The reason being is I try and do these videos where I can where the car's cold, because obviously different issues can show up at different engine temperatures, so when I can I do that. Engine, typical Japanese 4-cylinder petrol engine, fantastic, incredibly strong and reliable, smooth, quiet, punchy, free revving, lack of vibration, which you can get with 4-cylinder engines. Just don't really feel any. It's just a lovely, lovely unit. It pulls absolutely brilliantly, even from low revs. Touch the throttle, things picking up and going with a nice induction note as the revs pick up. Engine then feeds through to clutch and gearbox. I know the clutch is good because he had a new one fitted very, very recently, so that's absolutely spot on. Gearbox in the car, again, very typical Japanese gearbox, really nicely done. It's positive, it's precise and accurate. The gear change is, you just know exactly where the gears can go each and every time. There's no vagueness to it. It feels tight in each and every gear, and actuation is exactly as it would have been when it was new. Coming to the steering of the car, the chassis and steering has always been the strong point of the RAV4. Always been a very, very, I say enjoyable, sort of stretching it in terms of kind of sportiness, but compared to a lot of cars, especially this vintage, which can feel quite sort of clumsy around the corners and a bit vague, this has got actually quite quick steering. The steering's really nicely weighted. It just makes the car feel really positive and secure on the road. You turn into a corner, it follows absolutely faithfully. It's done very, very nicely. The steering feels so tight and solid. It also tracks dead straight. There's no vibrations at all at this speed or any speed up to the legal limit. Chassis of the vehicle, what I'm listening out for on road test is a particularly horrible bump about to come up any second. There. I'm just listening out for any sort of clonks or rattles that clearly shouldn't be there, and there's nothing at all. The whole car feels ridiculously tight for a car that's now nearly 16 years old, and yet it just drives, cliched as it sounds, pretty much like new. It really, really does. So I'm just going to change the air positioning. It's remarkable. It just shows how well engineered Japanese cars have always been. The chassis itself gives you this very comfortable ride. I mean, it rides beautifully, but when you show it some corners, it eats them up. It's very, very accomplished in every way, and as I said, light years ahead of its time, in all honesty. Swing down here. I'll give the brakes a little bit of a shove in a second. So I'm just going to hold my keys and phone. Just give my good old shove. Really good, solid brake pedal on the car. Exactly what you'd hope for. It bites absolutely perfectly. There's no kind of pulsing or vibrations coming back through the brake pedal at all. So all in fine order indeed. So finally coming inside the car, it's been kept absolutely beautifully. It really has, as you'll know from the walk-around video. It only tells half the tale really. It's, the build quality again is so good, and it does. I say it on lots of the videos of the Japanese cars, particularly kind of Honda and Toyota. When these are built, the usual candidates for build quality, and I use that in inverted commas by the way, were always the same manufacturers. Kind of the German manufacturers were lauded for having sort of squidgy plastics and heavy sounding doors. That's not build quality. Build quality is how well it's put together, but also how long it lasts like that. There's no squeaks, no rattles. It's all beautifully done. Everything working as it should. Radio, air conditioning pumps out lovely cold air. It really is. It's just beautifully done. All the switchgear, again, like all the Japanese stuff, has that lovely quality of actuation to it, which is designed to last decades and hundreds of thousands of miles and still feel the same. And it's just very, very, very well manufactured car. The dash itself is also incredibly easy to sort of come to terms with. It's blessed relief from lots of modern cars which can be sort of very distracting in my opinion to drive. You've got brilliant visibility out of the car. I can clearly see the bonnet in front, whereas that's, quite often you can't see that in modern cars. nice big wing mirrors, really good visibility all round. Yeah, it's just a lovely car, really lovely car. As I said, you know, at the start of the video, the point of the video, it's only brief, it's literally just to show the car operating, to let you know of any issues there might be. Oh, come back to the temperature gauge, running at about half, which is exactly where it's meant to be on one of these, by the way. Yeah, no, it drives perfectly. Cannot fault it in any way. It's been very, very well looked after.